Well, we're back again, live all the way, Olayomi Koiki, Abuja house, where, things is taking place. Thank you for everyone that have joined us, broadcasting all the way to you, where we have, a lot of Nigerians that have been here, making their voices heard. And that is, like I said, that is just the beauty of, that is the beauty of democracy. This is the same democracy we have in Nigeria, but sometimes people are still saying that we're not getting the full democracy. We're probably getting half-half. I don't know that. You tell me that. What we read a lot of times on on social media, people are complaining on the social media. There's a lot of complaint. But the most important thing is, we're live here in United Kingdom, where the voices, I could hear the sister, people are still here. They're saying, the president needs to go back home. Again, the green, white, green, one of the most beautiful flags in the world, a beautiful country. But sometimes, people, do have the right to protest, and they've already taken the permit, from the Metropolitan Police. And like I've been hearing from the organizer, that if nothing happened, if there's no one coming to give them the reason why the president shouldn't be going back home, there will be camping. I don't know whether you know the meaning of camping. That means they'll be sleeping day in, day out, right here, because they've already got the permit that allows them to sleep right here for the next 2 weeks, in and out. So that means the whole place will be shut down. That is number 2 Abuja house. And, someone did came out to speak to the, to those that were actually, organizing this, assuring them that they will get a response in no time, in terms of, the president, giving back updates, whether it will be going back home or whether it will be resigning or whether it will be able to update us on what is actually going to be taking place. But they've been told that will be coming back to them, in a couple of days. We'll be following that with the organizers as well. As you can see, it's still a little bit nippy. I'm not sure they've got tea or coffee, but that is, like I say, the beauty of democracy. Everyone have the right. If you're watching all over the world, citizens do protest if they're not getting what they want, and even if they get what they want, they still protest. Human being we will always complain, regardless of whether we get it or we don't get it. But the most important thing is, I'm still here. I'm now using the second phase of my data bank, so that means I hope that will take us for the next couple of hours. They are determined to be here till morning. But like I'm saying, it's a very, very long day, and it's coming up to 12 o'clock in the morning, and we still have some of these protesters still saying, raising their voices, that they and making sure that things are in right and order. We've got in the car right there is the Metropolitan Police, 2 officers there, and I'm sure at the press of a button, they could get more backup in case they need that. Few people have left. We've been told more people are still coming because they'll be here till 8 o'clock in the morning. Again, as usual, Olayomi Koiki reporting all the way from Abuja house, where we've got few Nigerians that are actually, making their voice heard. I've been told now that, they're about to bring the candle, to come out in terms of, all the way making things happen. Olayomi Koiki, thank you everyone that have been joining. The most important thing is we must be able to, protest, when the right time comes to protest, and that is the beauty of democracy. If we want to see the same democracy like we're enjoying in United Kingdom, we must be able to have the same facilities, the same thing back in Nigeria as well, with 180 million people. The president has been here for the last 100 days, and the question is, when is he going back home? If he's not going back home, but the most important thing is people are here, and we are here as well, to make sure that we're able to hear their view on why they are protesting. Thank you very much, Chidi, right there. Chidi is one of the main organizers of this particular event. It's a beautiful building, as you can see. A lot of I think the garden that we normally see is right behind. I could see the flag up there. Few people have been asking whether there's no light there, but I can tell you there's a full light, right in the president Abuja house there, number 2 Abuja house. Like I did say, my own point of view is, everyone has a responsibility as well to make things happen. No matter how small, no matter how little, you can do your own part. We are here doing our own part because we got to give the message the way it is. It's been a long day. I've been up since about 6 o'clock in the morning, with other things as well. But I got here just about 2 hours or 3 hours ago. But we're still here now at Abuja House, where we've got few more people that are determined to be here till 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to survive that, because even my power bank, one is already gone drain, and the other one is, is also, going down. Let's see if we can read some of the comments. This is one of the most expensive borough in London. Yeah, you are very right. And remember as well, this is the same borough where we lost, a lot of people at Greenford Tower. May their soul rest in perfect peace. Also those that lost their life in Sierra Leone, may their soul rest in perfect peace. We want peace and unity any part of Nigeria, and that is the reason why, people are here making their voices heard. There's been a lot of cars that have been coming in out of the Abuja house itself, I've been told. People are still living, but I've been told more people are still coming. But the most important thing is, we just see someone just arrived as well.
All the way, I got lost.
Someone just arrived, so that tells you that people are still coming.
Yeah, I put it on my Facebook, and I urge people to come.
No, we've had a candle lit.
I urge people to come. This is the time.
I don't pack a load runner. Don't flee.
Yeah, I only heard about it 2-3 days ago, and I told a few people
wow,
because I was there when we did for the one for Yaradua 7-8 years ago at Westminster. I was there with a friend of mine, Niyi Falade. He's not in the country now. He would have been here tonight.
Wow.
So hopefully Oma will be here as well.
Okay. Well,
I mean, enough is enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So enough is enough. If you go home and you see what's going on there, the situation is pathetic.
Are you even telling me?
I don't know about you guys,
I'm not even home, but I'm feeling the impact.
I'm
Every week people are calling you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's turn it around. So,
friends, like
family.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Samson Akinola. I'm one of the peaceful protesters here. Today we are in number 2 Abuja House. We are protesting. This is a peaceful protest. The core aim of this protest is we don't have any negative about this man. Look at section 145 of the Nigerian Constitution. It stated that president can dispense power to his assistant, but it left vacuum. It doesn't tell us when the president can back in Nigeria. So in this situation, we could assume the president can be here according to Constitution till 2018 or 2019. He hasn't broken the law, but is it reasonable? That is a question to you. If the president lived here in 2018 or 20, he hasn't broken the law, but is it reasonable? He has spent 100 days here now. He has spent 100 days here. So when will he go back home? When will he go back home? That is the question. Please tell us when you want to go back home.
But people will say, sorry to interject you, people will say, but he left the power with the vice president.
That is exactly what I'm saying. Now, he left the power with the vice president. But when the Constitution said,
is that constitutional?
No,
I don't think that's constitutional.
I read it. I'm a lawyer. I read everything.
That you can be here till...
No. That's what I'm trying to say. The Constitution doesn't state when he will be back in office. The Constitution says he can only hand over power to his assistant. But there's a vacuum. The Constitution did not tell us when he will be back in Nigeria to come to office. That place is less vacuum. So that is where you and I and everybody have to reason together. Okay, Mr. President, when are you coming back to Nigeria? Because constitutional, we don't know when you can come back to Nigeria. You can decide to be back in Nigeria in 2018. So in this situation, what did you think? What did you think? That is my campaign. Please, we need to reason together. This is public interest. And I understand in my observation with people have conflicts. There's ambiguity between personal interest to PMB, Then party interest to the APC. I am a political man. Then public interest. When there's conflict between these three parties, public interest take preeminence. And that is what we are here for. We are here for the public interest, not for party interest or personal interest.
We're here for the interest of the generality of the Nigerian citizens.
Which is the public interest.
You understand?
That is
we're here
for.
for the masses. We're here for 170 million people back home. We're here for people suffering, losing their jobs daily back home. We're here for the graduates that have not been able to get a job for over 10 years. I know 15, like some of my old schoolmates. It's terrible. It's terrible. You go to Nigeria, you see this, and this has to come to an end.
Yeah,
this man cannot take us for granted. I mean, you know, Nigeria is bigger. It's too big for one man to hold us to ransom. Nigeria is too big. He should think about his future. He should think about his old age, his end, because he's at the end of his life. Almost, you know, he should think about his heaven. We don't fear God in Nigeria. We're not humane in Nigeria. I don't understand. It's like our DNA, something has been, you know what I mean, in our DNA that is negative, that is inhumane. It's terrible. It's really sad. This man either has to hand over power or just come back straight. If his health cannot take it any further, then he should do the needful. He should quit honorably. You understand? We pray for him. We don't wish him death. We don't wish anyone. We are Christian. I mean, like, I'm a Christian. I wish him well. I pray for him. I supported him. I was in Nigeria during the presidential election. I was against him. I was doing a feasibility study. I would go on the taxi, public transport, to just hear the views of people. People were tired of the past president. They were fed up of his government. People were really tired. And I was a witness to how things were bad under Jonathan. We thought this was the, you know, lesser devil. You understand? We thought it was a, you know. So, but what are we getting? What are we getting now? I feel ashamed that I was part of the people. I was one of the people campaigning for APC, for Buhari, thinking that it would be better because corruption was just too much under Jonathan. But this is what we're getting now. This is really bad. Where is our conscience in Nigeria? Where's our conscience? We don't think about people. We don't think about the common man on the street. We don't think about the children, the women that's suffering back home. There is poverty, a deluge of poverty. It's just abysmal. You need to go home. I was home twice last year, March and October. It's terrible. You whip. I whip for people. Not physically, but in my heart, I whip. Going by the things I see on the street. You understand? The hospitals are dilapidated, ill-equipped. You know, the staffs are going on strike every day. All parastatals, ministries, you know, they're down in the tubes. Teachers are not taken care of. Lecturers, you know, the federal universities. I'm a product of University of Benin. Back in my days, we used to face this strike of whatever then, you know. But it's even worse now. And the standard keeps dropping. It's a shame. The economy is in shambles. Things are dilapidated. It's not working. You know, if the other man has a better idea, hand over. Constitutionally, you should be able to hand over to the vice president. Should be able to hand over. We can't take this anymore. We're here for people. We're here. We're Nigerians. Whether in diaspora or anywhere, we are Nigerians. We feel the pain too. Because every time your people will call you for money, people that you don't even know, people that are not even blood related to you. You know, because they know that you have a little bit of compassion. But how much can you do? We're only here trying to make ends meet as well. But it's a shame. Something has to happen. Tonight is tonight. As I came all the way from my house, I only heard about this 2-3 days ago. I put it on my Facebook, asked people to come. Some of my friends are there, hopefully. Then we see how far God can help us. And I personally, I think we should even pray together when we have more people. It's a vigil. Let's involve God as well. Pray. Let's tell God what we want. Whatever needs to be destroyed for Nigeria to move forward, God should destroy such. Whatever needs to be destroyed, whatever needs to die for Nigeria to live should die. No, it's not about violence. It's not about violence. I'm talking about spiritual aspect now. Like, we will call upon God. This is not violence. This is not physical.
Not true.
No, whatever needs to die, whatever power, spiritually whatsoever, needs to die for Nigeria to live.
Exactly.
Should die.
Exactly.
Honestly, Nigeria is a dry bone. It's a valley of dry bones. It's a valley of dry bones. Enough is enough.
Yes.
Something has got to change.
Something has to.
Well, you can see people are still, angry. We're still here. I don't know how the power bank will be able to last me. Like I said, I've been out, all day myself. But the most important thing is, I hope those of you back home as well, or wherever you're watching all over the world, like I said, there's always two sides of the story. I've been reading a few comments. I might not be able to, go through all those comments now because it's coming very so fast, and for me to catch up as well. But the most important thing is, we must be able to bring, whatever side of, the Nigerian citizen, whether they're in Nigeria, whether in the United Kingdom, or whether they're globally. Remember, Nigerians, we are all over the world. We're doing great things. We've got a lot of PhD, a lot of masters. The police are still relaxing. Behind me there is their car, but right there behind me is Abuja House, and we still have people right here determined to be here till 8 o'clock in the morning. Whether I will be able to stay till 8 o'clock in the morning, I cannot guarantee you that, because I've been out as well the whole day. There's a lot happening, but the most important thing, like the gentleman was saying, there's a lot of poverty in the country. People are really crying, and we all see that. We all read a lot of things that is coming out of the country every day, and people are actually in real pain. People are in pain, in terms of what is happening back home. Every one of us want good things. Who doesn't want good things? I've been out since morning. I've not had any fear that I'm going to be kidnapped around Abuja, Kaduna highway. So if we look at all these things, no matter what time I leave here, I will get home safely. And that is the beauty of living. There's a car coming, and this one seems driving very fast. I don't know whether it's one of the diplomatic car or it's just one of those that are okay. This is not diplomatic. I've been told maybe one of the residents just living. But like I've just been saying, yes, the government have the whole responsibility, to take care of the citizen, and we all see what is happening, with the IDP camps. There's a lot of things happening. We cannot say the government is not doing a lot, but people just want more to be done, and that is the big question mark. We won't say, things are not done, but we are just asking for more, and there's no reason why we cannot ask for more, because a lot of us have gone through a lot of pain, and you see, the schools, you see the hospitals, ASU on strike. There's just a lot of things that is not just right. Just a couple of days ago, it came out in terms of, the corruption that took place in about 12 months, just a couple of days ago, and you wonder, we're fighting corruption, but the corruption is still going on. And every state, you know that as well. I don't have to tell you. I bring out the channel's news almost every time. Once in a while I transmit it from the studio at home. And, we see the roads are bad. The farmers are complaining. We need things to be done the right way. We need people to be held accountable. And as long as people are not being held accountable, things cannot be done properly. The moment people start being held accountable, regardless of your position in the country, regardless of your post, you must be held accountable, and this will make things get better. Like I said, I'm not guaranteed that I'll be here, silent. I don't think, let's just be, much more. I know that, there's going to be a lot of, comment that will probably, might be too much for, some viewers that are watching as well. But most important thing is, let's just kind of respect each other. We're here as well, to capture what is happening. If we don't bring it to you, you probably be boiling inside. So let's just be a little bit more, respect to each other, and this is what we say. We're all one Nigeria, and that is the reason why we are here as well, to showcase, why these people are here, why are they complaining, and we can be able to bring it to you so that you won't say, but you heard about it and you never even make an attempt to go there, and that is the reason why, we came down as well, to showcase, why they are here, and they've decided that if nothing is being done, they'll be camping here for longer than just 8 hours. So that means if nothing is done, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be having more Nigerians living on this street. It's one of the most expensive borough in Europe, I've been told. Again, this is not too far away from the Greenford Towers. We're praying for peace, and that is what we want. We're praying for security, but all these things is not just going to happen by just prayer. Prayer. We've been doing a lot of prayers, a lot of night vigil, but sometimes we probably just have to use common sense to get things done, and that is just the whole idea of it. Again, as usual, Olayomi Koiki, all the way from Abuja House. Let's stop prayer for some times, but let's be more innovative. Let's get things done. Let's put people that have the drive, people that can push things, people that, I was watching BBC Click a couple of weeks ago, and in other European countries, they've started using their road for solar panel. And you think, wow, we've got, abundance of sun, all over the country. Right there, you see you at the press of a button, Metropolitan Police will be here, but they're only here to make sure there's peace and order, because they've already taken the permit. I can assure you that. So, it's not like the police is coming and we are running away. These guys have already taken the permit, and I'm sure things have been done, the proper way according to the laws of the United Kingdom. That is what they have been paid for. They have been paid as the taxpayers' money, and they have to do the right thing to make sure that everyone is being protected, as well. This is the beauty of democracy. I'm saying, we need to start, doing things the right way so that we can start getting the result that we want in the country. The government has to be held accountable at the right time, but as a citizen of the country as well, you have the right as well to do the right thing. Sometimes, there was a case, a lot of cases and a lot of, situations. The beauty of social media now is at the click of a button, you can see what is happening in Kebbi. At the click of a button, you can see what is happening in Abuja House in London. At the click of a button. But let's start making these things, as an advantage for ourselves as well. Let's start helping each other. Let's start talking to each other, because I believe that, with 180 million people, we still need to help each other. I was listening to the book launch at Prince Eze in Anacho, on Sunday, and someone says, the 5 fingers, we all need to pull each other. Yes, we have been pulling the government now to do their own bit, and you as a citizen as well, you must be able to do the right things. Sometimes you must be able to, to complain. We can't say, no one is going to listen to us because we live in Nigeria. You must be able to complain, and the complaint will get to somewhere. If no one is listening to you, bring it on the social media, and before you know, things will be done properly. Again, I think they've got a better call. They've got emergency, and that's more important than those of us that are here. So I won't be worried if you're hearing the siren. The siren is just going on its way. But the most important thing is
more important things to do.
They got more important things to do. Let's see. Okay, they're lighting the candle for them.
Awesome. You see, even the police is giving us light to light our candle. You see, if it's in Nigeria, they will kill you.
God bless you.
A country of lawlessness, recklessness from the force.
Run by tyrants.
Run by tyrants. Thank God, I am in a civilized society.
We just have to protest tonight, and this guy's a nasty guy.
Well, as you can see, the night vigil is about to take off. The candles have been lit, and people are still coming. Again, as usual, it's Olayomi Koiki bringing it to you. Abuja House, Kensington. I believe the president will be sleeping. We're probably watching one of the live feeds that is still going on. We've got a few people that are still here. The candle is right now up and running. Yes.
Hello, please, the viewers, I don't want you to get this thing wrong. I noticed there's ambiguity between when we are talking in Nigeria. The ambiguity is people have the misconception when we're talking about politics. There's something we call party interest, personal interest, and public interest. I don't want public interest to be misconstrued with personal interest. We are here for public interest, which is the interest of the nation. Many of us were not living in Nigeria, but we have the interest of Nigeria in our heart because we came from there and our families are there. That is why we are here today. for the benefit of Nigerians. Please subscribe to this campaign. Please. Look, this is the light. We are here on night vigil. We are here on night vigil. I'm supposed to be sleeping on my bed now with my darling wife, but I'm here because of you. I don't have any problem in the UK, but my problem is, for example, I watch Nigerian TV many times. Most of the times, I always see containers falling down, and I've been campaigning on this thing many times. It doesn't cost Nigerian government anything that before any truck or any lorry come out from the seaport, they must make sure that the container is well built. It doesn't cost Nigerian government anything, but people dying daily on this container error. Unprotected container going into the public, and it fall from the bridge. Many people die every week. This is ongoing. Is this good? Do we call this government? No, this is the government of the cabals, for the cabals, by the elites. We want the government of the people, by the people, for the people. That is what we're campaigning for. Please, don't look at us as if we are being paid. We are not being paid by anybody. We're doing this from our own personal interest. Let me enlighten you one thing more, Nigerians. Woman's spare part is really in Nigeria too much now. Who are the customers? I want you to ask yourself, who are the customers? Who are the customers of woman's spare part? And I did my survey today. Cow, malu, is very expensive than human being. Woman's cow is being sold in the market, 6,000 naira to 8,000 naira. That is madness. That is madness. That is madness. That is what makes me to go mad. We need to protect human beings. Humanity is what they call government. But in Nigeria, come on, personal interest first. And that is why the country is deplorable. We cannot put personal interest first and party interest second and public interest last. Nigeria can never be great. There's no prayer that will change it. No remedy that will change it. Let's forget about prayer. Do the right thing. National interest first, and we see what will happen in Nigeria. There will be a change. And the change can only come from you and me. It is a collective effort. We need to synergize effort together and do it together. One person cannot do it. Few of us here cannot do it. You need to participate. Next time we will be coming, please participate. Next time we be on Facebook, please participate. Come and do your best. We can only change Nigeria together. Together we can change it. A single person cannot change it. And that is what affected my mentor, late Ganiva Efayemi. Only him cannot change Nigeria. That is why I'm an activist and as a lawyer. I have a passion and I will do my best. Somebody else needs to come out. If we have over 100,000 activists in Nigeria, or 1 million activists in Nigeria, Nigeria will change. You have to do something. All of us here we are contributing to a change in governance. You need to do your whole. Don't sit down in the restaurant and just campaigning and just talking. Don't sit down in your home and start talking. Go to the war front and make a change. We need to make a change together. In the 80s, I ran away from Nigeria, thinking Nigeria would be great. 5 years time, I will go to Nigeria. I spent 30 years in the UK now. I'm not happy. I want to go back home. I'm frustrated. I'm not happy. So I need to make a change. I'm an agent of change. We must make a change. This is number 2 Abuja House in London. That is where it's happening from. It's happening from there. We need to make a change together. Over 30 years in the UK, we need to make a change together. No quality roads in Nigeria. Why? And I heard about the Afobade of Lagos. That is another person. But we're going to talk about that one later. We don't want somebody to be the kingmaker. All of us are kingmakers because we selected everybody into power. So we need to do it together. Please, ladies and gentlemen, you have something to do. You have something to do. You have something to do. We need to synergize effort together to build Nigeria. Look at the UK. For example, somebody coming from Nigeria, he said typhoid killed them, headache killed them. I don't have any problem for this man to be in the UK receiving treatment.
I don't have problem for him to be here.
But the question is, what I've been saying, why can't we build hospital, high-tech hospital in Nigeria? We have the resources, we have the money, we have the knowledge. Let me buttress my point with you. We have qualified doctors in Nigeria. There's 3.
Anna is one of them.
There is 3.
That is Dr. Hannah.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll talk to you. In Nigeria, 3 doctors that were trained from Ife They were practicing in America. The three of them performed conjoined twins. They were trained in Nigeria. They are not trained in America. They were trained in America, in Nigeria, and they are practicing in America. They performed conjoined twins, and it was successful. This is a trained Nigerian medical. So that means that gave me the confidence that we have qualified medical practitioners that can perform in Nigeria. On the 8th of September 2016, Buhari voluntarily launched Change Begin With Me. Change Begin With Me. And he imparted it to our memory that what is the definition of change begin with me, ladies and gentlemen? That means he said we should all patronize homemade products and services. My question to Nigeria now is, what is services? Patronizing Nigerian hospital is part of the services, isn't it? It's part of the service, isn't it? Why can't he patronize Nigerian hospital?
Oh, the question. My friends are asking, what's your name? Are you on Facebook? We want to follow you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Samson Akinola is my name.
Samson Akinola?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
So his
Samson
name
Akinola.
His name is Samson Akinola.
So the question now is, why can't he build good hospital in Nigeria? Now the question to Nigeria now is, Mr. President is sick now for unknown disease because Lai Mohammed doesn't tell us what the sickness is. So it's unknown disease. Now the question to Nigeria now is, if any man of his nature, of his age, is sick of this type of nature, where would they go? Where would they go? Where would they go? That is the question to you. Please answer this. Please answer this. Please answer this. And I must let you know, ladies and gentlemen, I am an activist. I'm campaigning for the introduction of Nigerian student finance law in Nigeria. I study in the UK. My children study in the UK. You see, anytime we are approaching September, UK students are always happy. Why? Because they're going to get their allowance to go to school. But in Nigeria now, September is approaching now. The parents are crying. The students are crying because of the school fees. Please support me for Nigeria Student Finance Law. It's coming on board. I'm coming to Nigeria to come and launch it. We have to launch it. We have to make Nigeria better at all costs. Also, I'm campaigning for the introduction of general practitioner, GP, to be introduced in Nigeria. GP needs to be introduced in Nigeria. We need to do something. People are getting hurt. In those days when I was growing up in the 60s and 70s, we used to go to a park. That is where they treat us. Maybe once in 3 months. But is it democratic? No. We need to, health is something we need to be having daily. We need to be having it daily. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a lot to say, but this is for it for now. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm sure you've heard quite a lot from Samson Akinola. Samson Akinola. You could check him on Facebook. The most important thing is it's coming up to past 12. It's becoming nippy. I've got my wooded as well prepared. We've been told this is going to be a long night. They're here till 8 o'clock in the morning. I won't be able to be here till 8 o'clock in the morning. I've got to be honest with you. I've exhausted a lot of my power bank. I've been out since 6 o'clock in the morning myself. It's been a very busy day. You know, Nigerian community, United Kingdom, there's a lot happening, you know, within the community. There's a lot of event that is up and coming. Join me, Niger Voices, every Wednesday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., where we bring different guest speakers to speak to us on different issues, whether right here in Nigeria or right here in United Kingdom. Last week, Wednesday, I was speaking to someone all the way in Ikorodu, you know, telling us about what he does. You know, we want to make sure that we're bringing out the best of Nigeria as well, you know, so that Nigerians were great. But the question is leadership, leadership, leadership. Nigeria is a great country, but we need more leadership skills. You know, we've got a lot of PhD. You know, Nigeria is where somebody have done 5 masters, they've got PhD, but we're still praying. Why are we not using this PhD and master skills to transform things, to make things happen? Most important thing is join us on our Facebook page, Niger Diaspora. Join me. For those of you that probably got this share, you know, we bring a lot of information. We do our own little bit, you know, to engage, you know, the diaspora, to work with people back home. As of today, you know, someone was requesting pig, you know, for his farm in Ibadan. This is a diaspora, you know, he set up the business with a good business plan. You know, and what he wants to do next year is he wants to start having a butcher where, you know, he can have a proper, you know, supermarket selling meat, you know. And he spoke to me today. He said to me, Yomi, you know, I'm not going to be fed up, but I believe that things will work in Nigeria. And these are the diaspora. You might be thinking, why are these people here? They're making noise. They should go and sleep. But these are the same diaspora that are sending billions of dollars, not just from United Kingdom, from all over the world. So if they are here now crying, getting their voices heard, we must be able to look at it from that angle as well. Someone here, I believe, must have sent money, this week or last month. And this is the reason why, we need to understand that a lot of diaspora want a lot of things done back home because we can engage. And I was saying in one of my programs, my very first show on Niger Voices, we were talking about maintenance culture. Why is it that we like building new things all the time? As you can see, it's getting windy, but we are still here. But how long the power bank will last, it will tell. It's still indicating blue, but the moment it starts indicating red, that means I have done my own little bit, to showcase, these people that are here, campaigning, for change. Yes, change comes from every one of us. Sometimes, we need to start understanding that when you're traveling to Nigeria and they're demanding money for you, thank you all the way from Vienna, Australia, Paul Jeff, thank you for joining. People are logging in from all over the world, from Benin, from Port Harcourt. One love to everybody. We love you all. Africa will be great. Nigeria will be best, but it gets a lot of hard work. It's not just about the government alone. We're tired in diaspora. I know that. I'm tired as well. We want to make change back home. But the question is, a lot of people that are, like I was saying, the guy that owns the pig farm. Let me go back on that. He was saying to me, Yomi, I believe things will work. But the problem he was having is the person that was supplying him the pig was probably giving him, pigs that would die, under 1 week. And we need to understand this as well. Don't think because, he's a diaspora coming home to invest, you got to take advantage of him. And this is where a lot of diaspora gets angry. We get angry because if the system is in place, we can report a lot of things. This particular evening, right, was done the proper way. They've taken, the right, if you look at the car right in front of you there, the silver car, as you can see, the policemen are there. At the press of the button, they'll be here again, if they need to. But the question mark is, people that have lived outside the country, they want to see the same, things, when they come back home. We're not saying things will be done automatically, but the government must continue to work very hard. Watching all the way from India, thank you very much. We've got a lot of Nigerians going to India for treatment. We're not saying it's not a bad thing, but it will be good to have a lot of our treatment done in Nigeria as well. And that is why people are campaigning to this evening. The weather is getting a little bit nippy. Olayomi Koiki is my name, all the way from Italy. Maybe we should start telling what part of the world you're watching from. Edith, all the way from Italy. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, everyone, all the way from Atlanta. I believe you guys are probably in the afternoon, so you got more time. It's coming up, watching from the Malaysia. I love the Malaysian rice. We've got an in-law from Malaysia. My brother married to a Malaysian girl, all the way from Brazil. Thank you very much for joining. All the way from Malaysia again. There's a lot of Nigerians in Malaysia. All the way from Australia. Wow, that's Onorun. That's quite a far distance. All the way from Japan. Wow, you can see all the way from Southeast Toronto. We've got Nigerians all over the world. All the way from Belgium. Thank you, everyone, for joining. All the way from Bibo. Whereabout is that? Can you tell me exactly where Bibo is, so that I can learn as well? All the way from Lagos, Chikere, Ukre, all the way from Spain. Sorry about what took place in Spain. There's a lot happening. Security threat is all over the world. All the way from Abeokuta High School. Oh, Tolu Lokpe, I know that. That's my big brother there. High school in Abeokuta Grammar School. All the way from Germany, Australia. Thank you very much for everyone that have joined us as well. You are part of it as well. Don't think because you're at home. Thank you very much. The only magistrate within the Nigerian community making things happen. Yes, we got to be here. It's part of our job as well. A lot of calls have been coming to my phone, since this advert came out. Yomi, I hope you're going to be there. We rely on you to give us the feed all the way through. And that is the reason why I came all the way from United Arab, all the way from Niger Delta, all the way from Greece, Nigerians all over the world. We are great people. Oh, Bibo is in Spain. Okay, thank you very much for telling us that northern part of Spain. Thank you very much. Kudos to you. We are great people, but what I want us to start doing now is let's start putting things in action. We've done a lot of talk. We've been talking since in the 60s. We've talked and talked and talked. Let us now work together as a community. Let us unite all the way from Lagos. Thank you very much. Let us have love. Let's forget about Miyabi Yoruba.